conversations that come to you as an afterthought. This is But Seriously, We Mean It.
We're just two curious people with lots to say about anything and everything.
No, but seriously, we mean it.
You know, recently I just realized that I sometimes struggle with looking people in the eyes when I'm talking to them, when they're talking to me. I don't know what it is, but I feel like it's a big insecurity of mine when somebody's talking to me and they're looking at me directly in the eyes.
Wow.
I just feel like they can see right through me.
What a way to start our conversation today.
Yeah.
Yo, talking about insecurities. I grew up, believe it or not, ndizithulele. Ndingumntu ozithuleleyo, shame. I am very reserved. But one thing that has always been consistent, bendihluleka for the longest time ukuveza umzimba wami.
Okay.
Not because kukho nto wrong ngawo. No, I'm very confident in the person umuntu endinguye ne. But when it comes to revealing my body, I'm still not extremely comfortable.
No, I totally relate to that.
But my sister used to say all the time, "Oh my gosh, Ludwig, really get over yourself."
And also.
I feel like angavumelana nawe right now because she'd always be like, "Why?" I don't think the only time I've ever had a bikini on comfortably, that decently, for as long as I remember. But otherwise, it's always somewhere there. At the beach. Then I had it on. I'm like, girl. You know, I'll hype myself up. I'm the type of person to, in front of the mirror, look at myself, hype myself up, dance, you know, just be happy. But, where do
you think the insecurity stems from?
I have got no idea. I have absolutely no idea. And I actually even concluded that it's probably in my head. I'm in my head. I am in my head because I also don't subject myself to looking a certain way. I really love my body. I completely love my body and I'm happy with the body that I'm in. But for some reason,
yeah, like
crop top ndizazindodwa
Same.
And I'll be proud that day.
I'm wearing a crop top.
You know, but I wear shorts comfortably. So it's strange.
Okay, also I wear short skirts, but I don't wear shorts.
But also I don't wear bum shorts. I wear shorts, but they're not extremely short shorts.
I feel like some insecurities are, you can never trace where it comes from. Like for me, one of my insecurities is I am always scared of, like, let's say there's a meeting or I'm in a group of people, I'm always scared of speaking. I don't know. I don't know if it's the fear of sounding dumb or what. But
or sometimes some people, even the fear of sounding smart.
Yeah, definitely. You know why that? It's because I'm scared of, you know, when you say something and people are like, oh, I don't know, but there's a certain way people react to the smart things you say that the smart things you say that they didn't think that you'd say. So if I say something and people are like, really? Okay. That for me makes me insecure. Because I think about it and I think, oh, so you didn't really think I had the potential to say something smart? Like I always overthink things.
You overthink.
I do. I overthink.
Welcome to my world. There's a whole lot of us. No, I also overthink myself into distress sometimes, a state of confusion sometimes. But yeah, no, I think, what is the one insecurity that took you a very long time to confront? and be honest about with yourself? I'm trying to think now as I ask you this question because I actually don't have an answer myself, but I'm going to take a moment and just reflect. And what is the one thing that took you a while to warm up to?
I think one of my insecurities is being I don't ever want to find myself in a position where I feel like I'm offending someone. So I struggle to speak my truth because I'm always like, okay, I don't want to be in a position where I F up this relationship or this family situation because of what I said and what my truth is. And I also have insecurities in my relationships. I think like everybody else. You have insecurities of, I don't know, I'm just one of those girls. I'm not even going to get into it. But I have a lot of insecurities when it comes to that space. I'm not going to get into it.
I get so anxious when I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if that's an insecurity.
It is an insecurity.
But
it's also a fear.
For me, it's a fear. Yes, it is. It's a fear. And also, where there's no structure, you know, I think structure gives me a sense of, there's an element of calmness that comes with structure for me. It calms me down. It makes me feel like, okay, we know what we're doing. Like a meeting with no agenda is what are we doing? We're freestyling.
Yeah.
Are we freestyling?
And what are we planning on achieving?
And it took me a very long time to realize that my insecurity could sometimes delay how I adapt to new spaces. And I'm insecure about the fact that I need that structure. I was in denial for the longest time, but no, I'm cool with winging it. Winging it doesn't really work for me because I've realized that I then become agitated and I get so anxious about how things will unfold. And now I feel the need to overcompensate because it feels like, you know? And that for me is a big one that I struggled with for the longest time to say, I imagine myself as someone who's flexible, you know, I adapt easily. And then I realized, no,
that's not true.
I need structure. I need some sort of structure. And sometimes it means creating it for myself, even if it's not going to be for everyone. Hence the self-inflicted deadlines that are hectic because there needs to be some sort of
structure in your
structure
life.
For me to kind of have things unfold with ease.
How do you think our insecurities temper with our lives and the things that we want to achieve?
I'm gonna go to the territory ongafuni kuyo. For me, with relationships specifically, my insecurities in relationships, I say this boldly, and I know it's toxic. Things could change, but could very easily deprive me of getting that happily ever after, because I'm the type of person who doesn't want to. I'd rather avoid something than find myself in a sticky situation. I'm not that big of a risk taker when it comes to matters of the heart. So my insecurities overpower my ability. When I weigh the scale of what's important, I prioritize.
Do you weigh it fairly?
I don't. I'm very aware. It's a weakness. It's an insecurity. I don't weigh the scale fairly. I'm literally,
I feel like you look at the
wrong,
negatives. Yeah, look at the negatives more. I'm the opposite. Jesus. No. I'm literally the opposite. I'm glad I'm learning certain things because I am the exact opposite. I'll get into something knowing that I shouldn't be getting into it and give it my all. And I always ended up bruised.
But I like that. I really wish I had that. I probably can still have it.
You can still have
I can
it.
still have that willingness to go in time after time.
I think that's the only way you are fully going to indulge yourself in something that you're going to enjoy, if you are willing to take the risk. You must take the risk. Because it's not black and white. You can't look at a relationship and be like, okay, it's going to work out. Sometimes you think it will work out and it doesn't. Sometimes you think it won't and it becomes the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Sure.
So we need to check our insecurities sometimes.
How do you deal with them?
I hardly deal with my insecurity. I have a lot of I feel like I'm just
I'm almost like I feel like I'm a ball of
walking insecurity. I am a walking insecurity. What do you call these dolls that they dress up? I'm an insecurity mannequin. I am so insecure about so many things. I feel her. I am so insecure about so many things. And sometimes I feel like that's the block. That's how I block certain things in my life. Like I'm very insecure about opening up.
Oh my, don't get me started.
I'm insecure about opening up. I am insecure about when I meet someone, like if I have a potential partner or whatnot, the first thing I ask myself, is he really gonna, like of all the people, I don't know, is he really gonna like me? And
do you know where they come from?
A lot of things. They come from a lot of things. They come from a lot of disappointments that have happened in my life. And being silenced sometimes.
You know what I was going to say? Bendizoti, what you're saying, it's strange that we experience the same thing and then you take a different direction. Because my insecurities, especially as far as relationships are concerned, stem from the experiences that I've gone through, and then I decide to abort mission, but you decide to go forward, and when you go forward, those insecurities present themselves even more, because you're saying, I'm willing to go back in, but you're going to ask yourself, does he really like me?
Yes. Because there was a time, I remember there was a time, I don't know if you can call this a relationship. I was in a relationship for about 2 weeks. Is that a relationship? I don't know.
It depends.
But that, I had taken time off. I had taken about a year and some months off before getting into this relationship. And when I got into this relationship, I thought I had healed. I had healed everything that I've experienced in my past relationships. Within a week, every demon of mine in terms of insecurities showed itself.
So do you deal though?
I couldn't, because I felt like the more I did these things the more he was like, no, this is not what I want. And then they immediately block you. And then you ask yourself, what is wrong with me? Then you realize that you're probably going after people that aren't good for you, but because of your insecurities and because of your, I don't know what to call it, you deliberately go after those type of people that won't be able to reciprocate. I don't know what that stems from, honestly.
Self-sabotage.
Self-sabotage, yeah.
Jeez.
And not feeling like you're worthy of being fully loved.
I feel like as human beings, we go through a lot, man. I mean, there's disappointments that you experience because you let yourself down. There's insecurities which live amidst those disappointments that you experience because you let yourself down. There's people that you meet who you introduce to this layered person who has insecurities, who's dealing with disappointments. that they're handling because they let themselves down. And it's a whole thread of mishmash. And how do you cope? How do you deal with all of this mess?
Sometimes you just don't, eh? Sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you find yourself in the cycle of mess until you confront why you are in this mess. Simping. We're in the dogs. We are literally trying to unlearn so many things.
What insecurities did you feel were silly? You know, where you're just like, ugh, stop it. Where you quickly called yourself out and you dismissed because you were just like, come on now.
Have you ever went through a period of your life where you felt completely naked to the world? Where it was like everything that can go wrong is going wrong. And then something happens in one of your relationships where you literally get to a point where you question yourself. Like, am I really a worthy human being? I found myself in that position, and I quickly called myself out. Because I was like, there's no such situation, there shouldn't be a situation that should make me find myself in this position where I ask myself if I'm worthy. Because I've always been.
Yeah.
So that for me, I had to quickly call myself out.
I'm trying to think.
But have you seen silly, like silly insecurities? Like, I have a big head. Like, I can't cut my hair.
Oh, yes.
I can't cut my hair.
Do I have... Oh, yes. You know, I
Yeah.
hear some people and I'm just like, come on now. Really?
Like, when I was growing up, I never did any color on my hair because dark-skinned people at that time were told that you can't do color on your hair. It's those insecurities where I was just like, okay, I can't do certain things because...
Wow. I just know that there's a... Yeah, look, it's... I find that there's people who gravitate towards... Okay, they're more in tune with the explorative side and others not so much, right?
I think sometimes we need to call ourselves out because you'll say things like, ugh, I'm such a clown. Like, there's no way when it comes to, like, you...
Drag us.
Yeah,
Why
like
don't
you have literally consumed everything that says that you are...
Drag me. You know, I'm thinking back to the I'm such a clown. Now I know maybe mine wasn't silly, but sort of was. You know, when someone wrongs you and you're just like, I should have known.
Yeah.
I am totally that person. And I'm like, so I'm a clown. How could I not have known? How could I have known?
How could you have known?
Yeah, how could I have known?
I get shocked sometimes. Like, I've never actually, let me tell you something, I've never been shocked. Because every time I get into a relationship, I do become a clown. So I haven't been shocked. I get proven right all the time.
Okay, let me tell you something.
I thought I got shocked, but no, abort missions. What I was gonna say is not valid. I get into. I don't know.
Let me tell you something. Man.
I'm aborting this thought.
It's not the one.
No.
Okay, wait, let me tell you something. I've always been a clown. I just think that I am extremely hard on myself. I know that. And it's something that I am working on.
Do you think it's a toxic trait?
It's both. I think sometimes it is good because there's things that I find because I was hard on myself.
Right.
Or because of the way I am. But sometimes it's really not that deep, man.
Yeah.
they genuinely do feel the way they do, and it's there's no intention so there's no need to overthink and go crazy and try to find things. Because now you start thinking, what happens when kusonakala, you know, or why unje. So I think
me, because I've never really had that why unje, because I've always dated about demi. I've never had a moment where I'm like, that is too good to be true.
Just like, can you surprise me?
No one has ever surprised me. I'm barely surprised. So, my insecurities are always validated by the experiences. Yeah. So it's just.
So I'm very specific with how I want things done, and I think I don't know what the right term for it is, but like I get this twitch when you're not doing things in if you're a songer and you don't do it right, if you, I don't know if that's an insecurity, but I find that it resurfaces in not just romantic relationships, but in my relationships, when I get to know people, and it's almost like we're right into people have to tiptoe. I don't want people to tiptoe around me, right? But
the tiptoeing happens because of the precedent that you have set.
I think so, but more so in romantic relationships. But I think it also takes someone who understands you to know that this is the type of person that she is. And I find this thing very strange because I didn't know it until I was reflecting on a past relationship. And I'm like, man, come to think of it, there was absolutely no need for me to make a big deal out of how the bed was made or how you placed
it compromises the way the person acts towards you.
Around me, yes.
Yeah.
Like when you're in my space, I want you to be completely comfortable, right? But the normal thing to do is after you eat, take your dish, you make. Do you get what I mean? But I'm not saying now if ubugele something, I'll not linda no bag ad break, then upagame. But now what ends up happening is, when I'm doing and that's not necessarily how I want. Like I want you to be comfortable. I want you to feel at home.
Why they wouldn't be comfortable.
In retrospect, I do. Because now when I sit back, I'm like, hey, what? But get this, I still want things done the right way. I still want you to, I don't know, maybe I don't know what it is. But
It's
I was thinking about it recently.
It's your expectations of other people. You expect them to act in a certain way, and that compromises
how they actually
act. So if you do things in anxiety, you're most probably going to do them wrong half the time. If you're anxious, you're just going to do it completely wrong. So I think it's the outcome of somebody being anxious.
But it doesn't feel like, I don't think sugenfuna into nothing out of the ordinary. It's literally like when I get up.
But what's your insecurity there?
What? Why am I that way?
No, but what is your insecurity in that respect?
I don't know. I don't know what it is. But njengoba ngisitsho, I was reflecting on
And you
what
realized-
role did I play in this person becoming this way. And I picked up this pattern, yoba, half the time, as light, you know, those light arguments would be a result of them not having, maybe it's living up to an expectation, I don't know. I have no idea why, but when I was reflecting, that was something that came up, just like, I don't know what it is.
So going forward, how do we deal with our insecurities?
I think honesty.
How do we confront them?
Being honest with yourself, firstly, because there's no way even in just what we're talking about now, I probably felt it even in the relationship that I was being too hard on this person, and I was expecting too much. I still don't think it was too much, but I wasn't being honest with myself. I guess I wasn't being honest with myself on the expectation, and I just kept pushing to get what I wanted, even though I could see by I popular but I just kept pushing. And so maybe it's also misdirecting things that I'm not happy about. So I make it about things that are around me. Like vele.
I knew
Yeah. So I think being honest with yourself about those insecurities is a way of dealing with them and not sweeping them under the carpet, because they will resurface. Because right now, I think about how I can be better with people and understanding that only I can fulfill
your own expectations.
expectations because I know what I want, and India but from someone else, maybe let me manage my expectations better.
That's it for this week. Catch us next time on But Seriously We Mean It, when we have conversations that come to you as an afterthought.